What if I told you that the secret to winning at life is actually learning how to lose? I know that sounds completely backwards, but stick with me because this ancient wisdom is about to flip everything you thought you knew about success upside down. 2,500 years ago, a mysterious Chinese philosopher named Lao Tzu dropped some of the most mind-bending wisdom humanity has ever encountered. While everyone else was obsessed with gaining power, accumulating wealth, and dominating others, this guy was teaching the exact opposite. He said the path to true strength comes through apparent weakness, real wealth comes through letting go, and genuine power emerges when you stop trying to control everything. Today, we're diving deep into what I call the ironic art of losing to win. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to see failure, setbacks, and losses in a completely different light. But first, subscribe to our channel. Let's start with something that probably happened to you recently. You got into an argument with someone, maybe a friend, family member, or coworker. Your ego kicked in, you dug your heels in, and you fought tooth and nail to prove you were right. Even when you technically won the argument, something felt hollow about it. The relationship suffered, the tension lingered, and deep down you knew that winning wasn't really winning at all. Lao Tzu would have smiled at this scenario because he understood something most people miss entirely. When you insist on being right all the time, you lose something far more valuable than any argument could ever give you. You lose connection, understanding, and the opportunity to grow. Here's where it gets really interesting. Lao Tzu taught that the highest form of winning is winning without fighting. Think about water for a moment. Water doesn't fight the rock. It doesn't argue with the mountain. It doesn't try to prove its superiority. It simply flows around obstacles, finds the path of least resistance, and over time it carves the Grand Canyon. The rock thinks it's winning because it's harder, but the water is playing a completely different game. This principle shows up everywhere once you start looking for it. The most successful leaders aren't the ones who micromanage and control every detail. They're the ones who empower others, who step back and let their teams shine. They lose the need to be the center of attention and win something much more valuable, genuine influence and respect. In relationships, the people who have the strongest connections aren't the ones who never apologize or admit fault. They're the ones who can say sorry first, who can lose face to save the relationship, who understand that being vulnerable actually makes you stronger, not weaker. But here's where most people get stuck. We've been conditioned from birth to see loss as failure and winning as the only acceptable outcome. Our schools reward us for having the right answers, our jobs promote us for outperforming others, and our culture celebrates those who come out on top. The idea of intentionally losing feels like giving up, like admitting defeat. Lao Tzu saw through this illusion completely. He recognized that what we typically call winning is often just another form of losing in disguise. When you win through force, you create enemies. When you win through manipulation, you lose trust. When you win by putting others down, you diminish yourself in the process. The ironic art of losing to win operates on a deeper level of reality. It's about understanding that some of life's greatest victories look like defeats from the outside. Getting fired from a job you hate might be the push you need to start your dream business. Having a relationship end might free you to find someone who truly understands you. Failing at something you thought you wanted might reveal what you actually need. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat or giving up on your goals. It means becoming strategically flexible about how you achieve them. It means recognizing when holding on is actually holding you back, when fighting harder is making you weaker, and when letting go might be the most powerful move you can make. Consider the entrepreneur who watches competitors copy their ideas. The ego-driven response is to fight, to sue, to protect every detail. But the wise entrepreneur might see this as validation, as free market research, as an opportunity to innovate even further while others play catch-up. They lose the battle but win the war. The most profound example of this principle is how we handle our own mistakes and failures. Most people spend enormous energy trying to hide their failures, justify their mistakes, and maintain an image of constant success. This approach is exhausting and ultimately self-defeating because it prevents learning and growth. What if instead you embraced your failures as teachers? What if you shared your mistakes openly, learned from them publicly, and used them as stepping stones rather than roadblocks? You might lose some face initially, but you gain something infinitely more valuable: authentic connection with others and accelerated personal development. The ironic art of losing to win isn't about being passive or accepting defeat. It's about playing a bigger game than most people realize exists. It's about winning at the level of character, relationships, and inner peace rather than just external achievements. The next time you find yourself in a situation where you could win but at a cost, ask yourself what Lao Tzu might do. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response. Sometimes the strongest position is yielding. Sometimes losing everything you thought you wanted opens space for everything you actually need. If you got value from this video, like and subscribe to our channel.